Arirang TV is conducting an overseas TV viewer survey to provide you with a better global broadcast service. Share your valuable feedback on the Arirang TV website www.arirang.com or mobile application. Survey participants will be selected at random to receive special gifts. 2025 Arirang Overseas TV Viewers Survey. We look forward to hearing from you.
안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to Friday's edition of The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon So-ah in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-classical music, K-sports, K-everything. And we'll do all of that together with our co-host Bella Kim joining me in the studio. Hello, Bella.
Hi, Soa. Happy Friday, Soa.
Happy Friday.
And happy Friday to everyone joining us today on The Culture Wave. I'm Bella, here to co-host and fill you guys in with some exciting entertainment news.
And we're also joined by Arirang's News Features reporter Eun-hee. Welcome, Eun-hee.
Hi, Eun-hee.
Hello, Soa. Hello, Bella. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Eun-hee Lee, Arirang News Features reporter in Arirang.
So, Eun-hee, I heard you have a story on a young composer who's pushing the boundaries of music. Sounds very interesting. Tell us more.
Yes, Soa. So this 19-year-old composer Hanurij is one of the most in-demand young composers on the global classical music scene. And recently he took a bold leap into new territory as he made his debut in the Korean traditional orchestral music. So his new piece, Unselected Ambient Loops 2525, was recently premiered in Seoul under the baton of conductor Choi Soo-yeol. Let's take a look. 19-year-old classical music composer Hanurij has unveiled his first traditional Korean music piece. He won the Bartók World Competition in Hungary when he was just 18. This young talent has also written a commissioned piece for pianist Lee Myun-chan, the youngest ever winner of the Van Cliburn International Piano Competition at just 18 years old in 2022. Now Lee has entered a completely new territory by composing his first piece for Korean traditional orchestra, a bold step that bridges tradition and modernity and breaks down the walls between Korean and Western music. The opportunity came when conductor Choi Soo-yeol, currently serving as the principal guest conductor of the Seoul Metropolitan Traditional Orchestra, invited Lee to write a piece. Choi describes the Korean traditional orchestra as a branch of contemporary music, a special genre that allows us to express the present through ancient instruments. Hanurij's debut in the genre came to life through the Seoul Metropolitan Traditional Orchestra's concert, filling the Sejong Center for the Performing Arts on Thursday night with the richly layered and resonant sounds of kugak, Korea's traditional music. In an interview with representatives from the Sejong Center, Lee described his piece as an attempt to construct an entirely different kind of sentence using the vocabulary of kugak, one that unfolds loosely, hazily, without clear peaks or dramatic climaxes. Hanurij, premiering his work Unselected Ambient Loops 2525, his debut composition for a Korean traditional orchestra, experimentally explores the unique tones and sonic possibilities of traditional instruments. Quoting him, in this piece the loop functions more like a memory, fading, warping, and merging into new contexts yet never entirely vanishing. As pianist Lee Myun-chan puts it, he's one of the most outstanding composers of our time. The future of the music world isn't just bright, it's dynamically unpredictable. Wow, I'd love to listen and find out how it actually sounds at the scene. So how was it, Eun-hee? Well, to be honest, I haven't had many opportunities to experience a Korean traditional orchestra performance, and I was genuinely moved because each instrument had such beautiful and distinct sound. I was also amazed by how the composer crafted a 40-minute-long piece, especially having learned that most of the works performed by Korean traditional orchestras are typically just 10 to 15 minutes long, so it really was something special.
Definitely. And what was the story? What is the story behind this? And is there any other upcoming performances we can check out?
Yes, Bella. So conductor Choi Soo-yeol shared that he reached out to Lee Hanurij as he was looking for a composer who could create something unique, a unique sound. And Lee is known to often find inspiration in the sound of the instruments themselves. So considering the stark contrast in acoustic qualities between Western and traditional Korean instruments, this project was a true artistic challenge and exploration at the same time for both composer and conductor. And to answer your other question, Lee Hanurij is also preparing another premiere. His new work called As If I will debut on July 3rd at the Seoul Arts Center, one of South Korea's arts and culture hubs. Tickets are still available, so be sure to visit the official website for more information.
Thanks for the information. And it's really always exciting to see these talented individuals being recognized as geniuses and to look forward to what they're going to bring out to the world. And Ini, thank you very much for sharing your story today and also for all of the wonderful coverages that you brought to the Culture Wave.
Thank you, Uni.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Now time for some K-Entertainment news with Bella Kim. Bella, I can't believe that the day has come. Today, there's great news for all of the Squid Game fans out there.
That is correct. The day has finally come. Netflix global phenomenon Squid Game returns for its highly anticipated third and final season today. The final season will feature 6 episodes in total, a shorter run compared to season 1's 9 episodes and season 2's 7 episodes. Picking up directly from season 2's cliffhanger, the final installment will show Ki-hyun navigating through more deadly games and heading towards an ultimate showdown with the front man. The Squid Game series has been viewed a total of 600 million times, making it the most watched series on Netflix history. The third and final season will be released on Friday, 4 p.m. Korea time on Netflix. And for Squid Game fans in Korea, after you enjoy the final season on Friday, which is today, you can watch a parade featuring Youngie, the Pink Guards, and other characters from the series at Gwanghwamun in Seoul on Saturday, which is tomorrow in Korea time. The director of the series, Hwang Dong-hyuk, and the main actors, including Lee Jung-jae and Lee Byung-hun, will also be present at the event.
Well, I know what I'm going to do on the weekend.
Me too.
And as you said, it's not that long of a series, so probably many people will be done with the series by next week.
For sure.
And we're going to move on to a story that's going to thrill Blackpink fans.
Yes, Blackpink fans are getting ready for their reunion with the upcoming world tour deadline. On Thursday, the group's agency YG Entertainment released the teaser for this upcoming tour on the group's official social media. The video opens with Rose at a phone booth in the middle of a desert, calling up all the other members, and the camera then cuts to a quick highlights of each member before the group hop in a pink convertible and take off on a road trip. Deadline will kick off at Goyang Sports Complex main stadium on July 5th, and the group will perform 31 shows across 16 places around the globe. Before the tour, Blackpink will come back with their first new release in about 3 years, and they will perform it for the very first time at the Goyang concert.
Lucky for those who are going to the concert.
Yes.
Now we're going to end up with another girl group.
aespa have just dropped a new single, Dirty Work. They released a new single just before our show today. Dirty Work is a dance track characterized by synth-based sounds. The single album features 4 different versions of this song. The new single also achieved achieves the remarkable feat of surpassing 1.01 million pre-orders, which will make it aespa's 6th million seller. As the fans may know, aespa have become associated with the term iron taste, referencing the group's edgy, futuristic concepts and industrial musical style as well. Well, the music video for Dirty Work amplifies their iron taste concept as they perform inside Hyundai Steel's steel mill in Dangjin with 225 extras and large-scale heavy machineries as well. aespa's songs are always so catchy, so make sure to give it a listen.
Well, I got the chance to take a look at the music video and listen to the song with you together, Bella, and I really have to say they did some great work with Dirty Work.
Yes, definitely.
And thank you, Bella, for your work, and stick around.
Will do.
And now let's go over to our AI anchor, Ari, for other culture-related news. Ari?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. Just 1 month after joining Russia's Mariinsky Ballet, South Korean ballerino Chun Min-chul has already been cast in a lead role. The theater in St. Petersburg announced on Thursday that Chun will perform as the male lead, Solar, in La Bayadere at the Mariinsky Theater on July 17th. La Bayadere, meaning the temple dancer of India, in French, tells the story of a tragic love triangle between the warrior Solar, a temple dancer, and a royal princess. Chun previously performed the role of Solar with Korea's Universal Ballet in September. He is the second South Korean dancer to join Mariinsky Ballet Company, following ballerino Kim Gi-min. A special retrospective is being presented by the Korean Film Archive to mark the 100th birthday of the legendary Korean filmmaker Yoo Hyun-mok, a pioneer of Korean realist cinema. Under the title Yoo Hyun-mok Centennial, Time, Genre, Practice, the program will screen a total of 18 films, including his most acclaimed works, as well as lesser-known melodramas, comedies, children's films, and experimental pieces. The retrospective will also shed light on his contributions as a producer and educator. In particular, the 4K restored version of the historical film, Im Gokjeong, based on the novel of the same name, will be screened for the first time ever in Korea since its discovery in the US in 2022. Design Council Busan has launched its 7th annual Busan Design Festival at Bexco on Thursday. This year, under the theme of Hung, a Korean term for joy or excitement, the dynamic energy and evolving identity of life in Busan will be expressed through the language of design. Over 150 designers and brands will take part, divided into 3 categories: communication design, product design, and ESG, or environmental, social, and governance design. Showcasing trends and talents across Korea's design scene, the festival runs through June 29. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
뭐 하나 물어볼게. 꿈에서도 너가 둥둥 떠다닐 것 같아. 맞아. 멋진 남자 되고파 피트니스 끄는 것 같아. 맞아. 연애가 처음이라 내가 긴장할 것 같아. 너가 나의 모든 의문점에 대한 정답인 것 같아. 궁금하게 있는데 어떻게 그리 예뻐. 신호등만 건너면 맛있는 가게 있어. 날씬 너를 많이 닮아. 너에게 간 길은 꽃길이 되고 보일 듯 말게 혼이만 보인다면 17TT 너와 나 사이에 그만 눈앞에 있어도 보고 싶어지는 이 느낌을 뭐라고 설명할까 정리가 안 되지 어느 순간 내 고개 그냥 너인 걸 알게 되니까 You are tall right and tall left 매일 빙빙 도는 나
마지막 쉬면 좋아지는 기분 넌 내 바이오 리듬 Baby 들려 말하지만 맘은 꼬여 있지 않음
너무 아름다운 너 또 너를 바라보는 나
The baseball fever is definitely boiling up. And speaking of which, it's time for the latest in the world of K-sports. From the FIFA Club World Cup to team transfers to the latest in the KBO. Now we are joined by our sportscaster Jason Lee in the studio, who will bring us all the highlights. Hello, Jason, and happy Friday.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
All right, so let's talk about the FIFA Club World Cup. It is taking place in the U.S. right now, but it's actually the end for Korea, represented by Ulsan Hyundai, of course. So how did the games go?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Unfortunately, things did not go well for Ulsan Hyundai FC as they lost all 3 of their games, most recently to Germany's Borussia Dortmund 1-0. That was yesterday morning. And to be honest, I've got to say that Cho Hyun-woo, who is Korea's national team starting keeper, was really the only reason that the score wasn't even more lopsided. He really kind of did his part to keep the team in it. Ulsan Hyundai FC already had no chance of advancing to the round of 16 after a 1-0 loss to Mamelodi Sundown FC of South Africa, followed by a 4-2 loss to Brazil's Fluminense FC as well. So really a not good situation for the first 2 games. Obviously disappointing that Ulsan finishes 0-3 for the tournament, but at the same time, I mean, these are some pretty good teams. And in the end, I thought that they kind of did hold their own for the most part. But yeah, it would have been nice if they could have pulled out a draw or perhaps even a win. Certainly against the South African side, I think was their best opportunity to pick up some points. But unfortunately, they go out 0-3.
And speaking of soccer, we want to also talk about K-League Kiseongyeong. It seems like Kiseongyeong and FC Seoul are parting away. Please fill us in with this update. Why is this so?
Yeah, I've got to say, I'm a little bit sad to a certain degree that this is going on. Kiseongyeong was actually one of my favorite Korean players, starting off with FC Seoul back in 2006 and also playing for Celtic, Swansea City, Sunderland, Newcastle United, as well as Mallorca before returning to FC Seoul in 2020. I mean, he's now 36 years old. And at that age, most normal players, I mean, they're already retired by that point. But Kiseongyeong feels that he still has some football left in him and he wants to contribute to any team if possible. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that it's going to be for FC Seoul. Just the way that FC Seoul's roster is constructed, I think it just makes more sense for both sides to part ways, and that's what they're agreeing to do. So Ki will be moved to another team where he can essentially gain some more playing time. And nothing has been finalized yet, but the Pohang Steelers have been reported to be the most likely destination that Kiseongyeong would end up for as he wants to continue his K-League 1 career. And by the way, just in case, if you're not a soccer fan and you're wondering who is Kiseongyeong, I think I've seen his face before. He is the husband of Hanurij, of course, who is quite famous in Korea as both an actress as well as a TV host.
Right, and also for every 4-year soccer fans who watch the World Cup, he actually participated in 3 World Cups and used to be the captain of the national team. So that's probably where at the first World Cup he participated, that's when he got the biggest fan base, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually got a Kiseongyeong uniform, an official Korea team uniform at home. So like I said, I was a huge fan of his, especially in his younger years.
So I guess fans will get to see him play a little more.
Yeah, hopefully.
And now, speaking of players switching teams, now moving from soccer to baseball, it's not really very often that we see a trade during the KBO mid-season, but the LG Twins and KT Wiz have agreed for a trade.
Yeah, as you mentioned, definitely very rare. And none of the names involved are really household names for casual fans, but I think this is more of a deal about roster management and future outlook. So the deal saw the LG Twins send 24-year-old lefty Im Jun-hyung to the KT Wiz for hitter Chun Sung-ho and catcher Kim Jun-tae. Now, Kim Jun-tae is probably the most recognizable name in the deal, but I'd say he's probably the more of a toss-in player in the trade because we know what he is at 30 years of age, and for the most part, he's a backup catcher in terms of the KBO, especially at this point in his career. As for the younger guys in the deal, they're more of a speculative piece, I would say, as Chun Sung-ho being a part-time player who's been up and down from the Futures League. And he's kind of been great in the Futures League, but then unimpressive in the KBO. So my bet is that someone in the LG team, maybe their coaching staff or within the organization, is kind of thinking that they can coach him into a breakout, because he certainly has shown potential. He's got some skill and talent, but maybe he just hasn't had the right direction as of yet. So someone's thinking, hey, give him to me, I'll coach him, and we'll make him into a better player, is my guess. As for what KT is getting back, Im Jun-hyung has looked great in 5 games this year, all coming in this past month of June. And I've got to wonder if LG was trying to sell high on him, because Im had an ERA over 5 coming into the season for his career. And now he's allowed just 1 run in 4 2/3 innings this year. So very great, but that's a very small sample size. So can he keep it up is the question. And my understanding is that the LG Twins actually reached out to the KT Wiz saying that, you know, they're looking for some hitters, and they kind of dangled Im out there. So it kind of looks more like them moving Im while he's hot, but you never know, I could be wrong. Maybe KT is able to turn him into an ace, and, you know, all will be fine, but we'll have to see.
Well, let's see how this will affect the upcoming games.
Yeah.
Right. The LG Twins give up a reliever, but it would have been perfect if they got their former closer, Go Woo-seok, back, because it looks like he's staying in North America for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it does appear to be the case. There was some speculation that he might return to Korea. And, you know, this is sort of another reason that I wonder if LG was trying to push out Im Jun-hyung, because if they did get Go Woo-seok back, then, you know, it would have been a numbers game and the reason why they dealt in, but, you know, that wasn't the case. Anyways, yes, let's talk about Go Woo-seok. He was the top reliever in the KBO in 2023, and then the LG Twins allowed him to pursue a major league career as he signed with the San Diego Padres. Now, partly through last season, the Padres traded him to the Marlins, and then earlier this month, the Marlins released him, sparking the speculation that he might return to the Twins in the KBO. However, Go Woo-seok has signed on with another major league team, as he signed on with the Detroit Tigers, who are actually the best team in the American League right now. So Go has yet to play in the major leagues, as he spent his entire time with both San Diego and Miami in the minors. And for now, that's the expectation with the Tigers, as well as he's going to report to their AAA team, the Toledo Mud Hens. More recently, Go's ERA was actually just 1.59 with the Miami Marlins AAA team, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, although that was, once again, a very small sample size of just 5 2/3 innings. But if he can stick with Detroit, you know, he's going to be joining a really good team that actually does need some bullpen help as well. So this could be a great move for him and a team to join if things work out. And let's say hypothetically, if they don't work out and he does return back to Korea, I'm sure the LG Twins would be very happy about that.
Right.
Of course. And moving back to domestic baseball, the All-Star game is coming up on July 12th, and the rosters are set, and one player broke the record for most votes. Votes, that is.
Most votes. Yeah, I've got to say, it wasn't actually who I would have expected to get the most votes. It was actually Kim So-hyun, the Hanwha Eagles closer. He led all players, getting 1.7 million votes from fans, and that broke the previous record of 1.4 million votes for Kia's Yang Yeon-jung. That was back in 2022. So why did Kim So-hyun get so many votes? I mean, he doesn't lead the league in saves, but he's only 3 behind the saves leader, Park Young-hyun, and he's got the best ERA among the top closers. And that, along with the fact that he was the first overall pick in the 2023 draft and is having a bit of a breakout party this year. So, and, you know, of course, he plays for the first place Hanwha Eagles right now. And, of course, it is Hanwha that is is hosting the All-Star Game. So I think all the local fans were trying to stuff the ballot box to make sure that one of their own made it too. You know, they've got a lot of passionate fans there. They're in first place right now, and certainly good for him.
Right. And also the All-Star Game is going to be held at the Eagles' new home stadium in Daejeon.
Beautiful
so
park.
That's going to be exciting.
Yes.
Very exciting. And speaking of the All-Star teams, there's always players that deserve to be on the team or deserve to be on the list, but don't make it. So is there any player that kind of did not make the list?
Yeah, I think anytime that it's fan voting that is considered first, then, you know, that's going to happen. And I think for the most part, the most deserving players are, I think, in the starting lineup for the most part. But if I were to highlight a few players deserving, the first name that comes to mind, I would say, is Samsung center fielder Kim Sung-yoon. He's leading the league in hitting right now with a .354 batting average, and his .932 OPS is good for 4th best in the league right now. And you know, you could basically argue that the season that he's having is probably better than his own teammate Gu Jauk has, you know, been voted in as a starter in right field. But obviously, Gu has been an all-star many times. He's largely regarded as the best player on Samsung and one of the best players in the KBO. I would also say LG's Moon Bo-kyung is also putting up all-star numbers with a .299 average and 13 home runs. But the top third baseman vote getter for the Nanum team is injured star Kim Do-young. Last year's MVP, he's injured, so it's unfortunate that you know, he's got the most votes. But I think the fact that he's got a hamstring injury, he hasn't been playing, and because of that, I think we could probably expect Moon Bo-kyung to just be the starter for the All-Star Game anyway. So he didn't get the most votes, and the recognition for that goes to Kim Do-young. But I think Moon Bo-kyung will be recognized regardless.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason, for all the updates and your analysis, and looking forward to next time.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Jason.
And thank you, Bella, as always. Have a great weekend, and see you next week.
Yes, I'll see you back next week.
Thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Have a great weekend, maybe at the ballpark or with the final series of Squid Game. And we'll be back next week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Korea time.
How to survive in Korea. Weddings. Step 0. Attire. As a guest, dress formal to business casual. Avoid wearing all white, shorts or going topless. Step 1. Arrival time. Arrive 30 minutes prior to the wedding ceremony. Too many cars, too many halls, too many people. There are many twists and turns. Take pictures and shake hands. And write your name vertically, not horizontally, in the guest book. Step 2. Or shibor. 50,000 won, 100,000 won, 150,000 won. Cash gifts are given in these units. Decide on the amount based on your relationship. Write your name vertically on the envelope. Step 3. Wedding etiquette. Fill up the front row. Guests have 3 duties to fulfill: clapping, cheering, and taking pictures. Step 4. Dining.